With the increasing demand of consumer products, a fragile supply chain, and most businesses and manufacturers relying on a just-in-time system, the shortages we have seen for over the last year are not easing up, with industry experts saying the supply chain disruptions could last well into 2022. We see clogged ports, lack of cargo ships and shipping containers, and we continue to see the crisis getting worse. According to Maersk CEO Soren Sko, there is nothing to suggest current demand is about to wane. He admitted that the port congestion at Los Angeles is clearly getting worse. He says congestion outside the port was about 10 ships last month and currently sits at 59 ships. According to Hitendra Chaturvedi, an expert in supply chain strategy and global logistics at Arizona State University, he told Yahoo not only are there container and vessel shortages, but also deficits in marine terminal, warehousing, trucking, and rail capacity. He says one way to think about the problem is that we have seen roughly a 30% increase in demand coupled with a 10 to 15% decrease in effective carrying capacity. This is further compounded by labor shortages in receiving stations throughout the U.S. With the trucking industry being the backbone of our economy, trucker shortages will put a strain on our already fragile supply chain. Truckers haul more than 70% of the freight shipped in the U.S. To keep up with this just-in-time system, truckers need to be behind the wheel to keep these complex supply chains running. It is 9 times harder to hire a truck driver versus comparable occupations. The workforce is aging with nearly 57% of truckers over 45 years old. With most truck opportunities being long haul, the trucking industry is continuing to look for drivers to fill these jobs. According to the American Trucking Association, the ATA, the average annual turnover rate for long-haul truckers is 90%. That means if a company hires 10 drivers, 9 drivers will be gone within a year. Also, adding to the supply chain woes, now we have barge rate costs rising. With most logistic managers focusing on getting products into America, now U.S. exporters are facing problems getting their products out to the global market. Now we see a backup in the U.S. inland waterways. These waterways carry coal, petroleum, grains, and manufactured goods from America to be exported. These barges transport products through almost 12,000 miles of channels, primarily the Mississippi, Arkansas, Ohio, and Tennessee rivers. 60% of U.S. corn and soybeans are exported through these channels. Hurricane Ida caused many barges filled with grain to be idled. America Barge Line told its customers to expect delays. The barge rates have doubled in the last few months. With clogged ports, shipping and container shortages, truck driver shortages, and a fragile supply chain, don't expect shortages to end anytime soon. According to Naveen Jaggi, president of Retail Advisory Service JLL, he says we still have a very challenged supply chain and many retailers don't expect any sense of a balanced supply chain recovery until the summer of 2022. If you are looking for more information, check out my channel under Prepper News playlist and you'll find videos in that playlist that talk about food shortages, empty shelves, the shipping crisis, supply chain crisis, and those type of videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.